We live.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
We are the Hebrew Israelites coming out here week in and week out. The prophesied the downfall of this wicked ass kingdom, spiritual Egypt, Nineveh, and modern day Babylon. Say you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that you're not niggas, spicks, and wetbacks, but God's chosen people that the Bible speaks of, the apple of the Lord's eye. Alright? Also to point out, our lesson is going to be on the day who the wicked is. Esau, the so-called white man, the red man that the Bible identifies him as. So he's the wicked, right? His forefathers Cain. So, Lord willing, this lesson's edifying. We're going to get right to it. The brother got the book. Go ahead, what?
Right? Yeah. But before that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Bahamad, HaKadosh.
the line said elders and apostles, and shalom to the elect. All right, so we're going to get on Esau ass for a little bit. We're going to cook 20, 30 minutes. Brothers, for water, brothers for coming down on such short notice. But through the Spirit, it's raining out. You know, it's thunderstorming. I drove an hour some change up near New York just to get here on time, but the Lord permissed it. But we wanted to get on Esau Edom. So there's a book. Pretty sure a lot of you already know about it. There's a book right here. It's called Who is Esau Edom? And if you see the faces on it, the faces on it are predominantly of a certain nation. That certain nation of people. It even has so-called Muhammad on the cover. This is a depiction of Muhammad.
Oh shit, that is.
This is the depiction of Muhammad. These are basically supposed to be great men of renown from the Idumean Empire, right? Now, why would there be a picture of who they would call Muhammad? Because Muhammad, if you read the Hadith, right? If you learn about the history about Muhammad, Muhammad was a so-called white man. So-called white man. He was an Edomite. He was pale-skinned, very pale-skinned, didn't have many melanin. And then there's even passages in the Hadith talking about if any man was to say he was black or anything other than pure white or pure white skin, they should be punished or put to death. That's in their Hadith. So we understand these things to be true. Now, to further prove this book was written by Charles A. Wiseman. Wiseman is a Jewish name. Wiseman. That's why Wise Market, Wise, if you ever noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Wise Chips.
Yeah.
All right. This is an Edomite who wrote this book, and it says, who is Esau Edom? I'm not going to read it, obviously not going to read the entire book, but I want to jump over to page 23 to start this out. And on page 23, it starts off with, I'm going to read, and guys, brothers, if y'all can just grab precepts as I go, because it'll start bringing up, actually, I can make this a little easier. Ezekiel 36 and 5, Obadiah, you already know all of Obadiah.
35 and 5.
You can start at 5.
You can do 36 and 5, and you can do 35 and 5.
Yeah.
You can go 35 and 5,
Okay.
and then move over to 36 and 5. Yeah.
All right, cool.
But you're correct.
Probably added.
But you are correct, 35 and 5 as well. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit into this to give a little bit of understanding on why we're bringing this out. Because at the end of the day, a little quick synopsis, not a synopsis, but a little quick little, anecdote. We believe that we are the children of Israel. We believe that we come from that legendary bloodline, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are Israelites according to that bloodline. Now, if you read Romans 9th chapter, or if you even read Matthew the 1st chapter, it kind of goes into the genealogy through patriarchy of the father's line. Now, because of that, we trust in the Lord wholeheartedly, that we love what the Lord loves, hate what the Lord hates, despise what the Lord despises. So if the Lord despises wickedness, we despise wickedness. If the Lord hates a certain group of people, then we're going to hate that certain group of people. If the Lord tells us to be on our watch, we're going to be on our watch. We are obedient unto the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which is the God of Israel, the God of the Bible. All right. So now I'm going to start on page 23. I'm going to get straight to the point. It says, "Therefore, thus saith Yahweh thy power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea." Heard that? I'll read this again. "Therefore saith the Lord." So who's speaking? Yahweh himself. Not Yahweh Shai, who you inwardly call Jesus. It's Yahweh speaking. And he says, surely in the fire of my jealousy. So that's indignation, righteous anger. And he says, have I spoken against the residue of the heathen. He called them heathen. And then he said, and just so you can know exactly who he's talking about, he says, and against all Idumea. Now, Idumea is a people before it's a place, right? The land of Edom, but Idumea is talking about the Edomites, the Idumeans, all right? And then it says, I'm going to keep reading.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
It says, shall I not in that day, save Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of the mount of Esau? So the Lord is basically saying, Yahweh himself, the heavenly Father, the creator of all, says, even destroy the wise men out of Edom. So he's saying he will basically destroy, and he says, and the understanding out of the mount of Esau. So when it says the wise men and understanding, the reason why he's coin phrasing men, because men are usually the perpetrators or the enactors of what? Wisdom. Wisdom is usually given to man. They're the law exactors. They're the ones who pass law. They're the ones who hold up society in every form. So the Lord says, I will wipe out their wise men and, let me not chop that. It says, destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of the mount of Esau. When it says understanding, it's not talking about understanding of the Bible. It's talking about their philosophies, their ways, the way they move, the way they carry themselves, their character, their gods. The Lord is going to destroy it all. All right, I'm going to keep reading. It says, thus saith Yahweh thy power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against you and will stretch out my hand against you. So that's three different passages, right? That's Ezekiel 36:5, Obadiah 1:8, and Ezekiel 35:3 I just brought out. Each of those are basically Yahweh himself telling us that he's against a certain group of people on the planet. He says that he will destroy their knowledge. And mind you, if you read the whole book of Obadiah, it literally says he's going to wipe out the patriarch. He didn't say the women, he said the patriarch. He says, I'm going to wipe out the man, the brother, the uncle. What is that? And it was a man, it was a nephew, uncle, brother. He said basically, and I'm paraphrasing right now, but he said, I'm going to wipe out them. Why? Because men control what? The passing of the seed. The bloodline is passed through men. So the Lord is basically saying that he's going to wipe them out. Now I'm going to keep reading on this book.
Real quick, bro.
Go ahead.
I got this Jeremiah 49 and verse 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? His counsel perished from the prudent. Is their wisdom vanished? This verse 8. It says, flee ye, turn back, and dwell deep, O inhabitants of the den, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, that it says, upon him the time that I will visit him. And then this is verse 10. It says, I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
That's actually beautiful because actually right now, I just got them watching a video of a young brother. He was walking through New York, and he walked about. I think, did I send y'all the video? It was funny because they started following him. You know how the small hats, the young small hats, they get them to dress up. So he was walking across a group of small hats, like 15, 20 of them, and it was a young Jake with his camera, and he was by himself. So he walked up on him being friendly. Yo, what's up with y'all? Yo, something. They was being real cocky in front of him, like, you goy him, and he just playing it off. Hey man, look, how about this? If y'all could beat me in a push-up contest, if one of y'all could beat me in a push-up contest, I won't post this video. But if y'all lose, I'm posting the video. Obviously, he won. So then as he was like, all right, well, I'm out of here, he started walking away. They followed him for blocks, harassing him, trying to get to him. Every time he stopped, like, yo, why y'all following me? He said, yo, and you hear one of them in the background trying to sound like a gangster. Yo, man, let me get that camera. He like, yo, hey, look. He like, yo, he was like, oh, I better not be on your camera. He's like, yo, you follow me over here. How about I just walk across the street? Y'all stay over here. He starts walking across the street. They follow him over there again. That is what? A gang. That is completely, they were literally moving like a gang unit, and they were trying to intimidate him because they lost in a push-up contest. Now, mind you, you got to understand something about the mindset of Zionists. They look at us as subhuman. So to them, losing to us in anything is the biggest disgrace you can get. But we all know that's all. Remember, they're brainwashed by their own people as well.
True. Okay.
See, they believe that
they see the Usain Bolts and the LeBron James.
But it doesn't matter. But in their head, they're taught. Yeah, he ain't nothing. But you got to. It's bred in them. Just the same way how there's generational trauma for so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. There's generational trauma for people who enslaved those people. Meaning, it's like in their genome now. They don't know how to not be nice. They don't know how to be nice. Right. It's like if all you ever known was being evil, then even generations pass down evil. By the time you get to your generation, you like, My natural instinct is to be evil. That's all I know. That's all I know.
That's why we
They
just
training
worthless.
gazelles to stand up the lions, and they think they can really.
But
win.
they were. It was a bunch of yeah, bro, yeah, brother.
Oh,
Now, mind you,
shit.
if you read the comments, you should have. Reading the comments was hilarious because it sounded just like you. Everybody was like, "Yo, man, you know none of them motherfuckers can fight. Yo,
Right.
you could beat all of them by yourself, dog.
Right.
You know what I mean? All you had to do was sit there. The one who tricks you across the street should knock him out first. People was all these Jake is talking in the comments
Right.
because they like they all talk. They remember their power comes from what? From being together. Their power comes from being together. Like they like you're a pedophile, you're a pedophile, you're a pedophile. I'm a judge, but we're all Jewish. Everyone hates us, so I'm gonna take care of y'all. Even though I know y'all are wrong, they all hate us, so I'm not gonna hate us. I'm gonna get you off and get you off and get you off. They look away from their evil because they have created a mindset that they are the smallest nation on the planet when they're not.
Micah 2:11.
Exactly.
2:1.
So they, in their heads, believe that all nations hate them and that their God-given right is to dominate all nations. This is what they believe.
Pretend to be us.
Pretending to be us. The birthright. All right? Now I'm going to get back into the book to get perspective, okay? And it says, there is not one favorable or positive statement in the Bible in relation to Esau, Edom. But how does this adverse relationship with God, which God has towards Esau, Edom, help us to identify who this character is in the world today? To help us answer this, we have to put ourselves in the role which Esau has been assigned in God's script. If God hated you and your ancestors, how would you react and what would you do? By natural reaction, you would be against God and his people and try to prevent them from finding out you are Esau, the one God is against, knowing that if God is against something, so will all his followers.
So look,
So-
Salakia, bro. Now go ahead, just quote. Go ahead and quote. I'm gonna throw a
This
little-
book is crazy.
Yeah,
That's
that
why they
shit,
took
that
the
shit crazy.
apocrypha out there.
That's why they got rid of the Apocrypha. That's why they
Everything.
that's why the Dark Ages, the Byzantine empires, the Tartarian empires, all the things, when we ruled over everything, they took it all away and assimilated into our roles. Because the best thing the devil could do, what's number one say? They say the greatest thing that the devil ever did was convince everybody that what? He wasn't real. The same way how the people of Satan have convinced us that they are what? Not Edomites. Everyone else is Edomite in Goyim, not us. But then in their own books, they tell you that they converted to Judaism. And they're Polish, Germanic, Khazarian Empire. Anastasia, remember that whole story of Anastasia and the bloodline being wiped?
Mm-hmm.
Those were what? Amalekites. What did the Lord say in Exodus? Was Exodus about the Amalekites? I shall have war with Amalek forever and ever.
And that when I just read, right? Jeremiah 49 and 10, it said that his seed was spoiled.
Go ahead.
It said that his seed was spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
His secrecy, his power comes through his secrecy.
Yep.
Right? His strength comes through his
Why
secrecy.
do you think there's nothing but secret societies and
Right.
secret platforms and secret councils and different brotherhoods? Everything's a brotherhood. You want to become a cop, you got to join a brotherhood. You want to be a firefighter, you got to join a brotherhood. You want to go to a frat, you got to join a brotherhood. Everything is about confidentiality and secrecy. Because what is knowledge? Knowledge is power. If I have more power, if I have more knowledge than you, then I have power over you. But if I withhold information, like who God's chosen people are, or who Esau, Edom is, like this last passage, it literally says, by natural reaction, you would be against God and his people and try to prevent them from finding out you are Esau, the one God is against, knowing that if God is against something, so will his followers. Remember, I started this camp off saying what?
Hold up.
I started this camp off saying what? We are what? We believe that we are the true Israelites, and we love what the Lord loves, hate what the Lord hates. So by natural affections of the Lord, our enemies are what? God's enemies, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And the reason why
Zechariah 2:8.
the reason why Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and the Amalekites and all their different houses that all make up Esau or Idumea, what is the number one people that they hate? So-called black, Native American, and Hispanic people. Why? Because they know who we are. So I'm going to keep trying to destroy you I'm going to try to keep you dumbed down. Yo, they can't read and write. Jim Crow laws. Take the books out of there. Yo, don't let them rise. Take the factories out of there. Don't let them live over there. Make them live over here. Put guns and drugs and everything in the neighborhoods. Everything is literally systematically evil. A war. It's all war. It's a siege against what? God's chosen people.
They took the trades out of our schools and our neighborhoods.
Exactly. All that was to do what? To dominate and control. What was the whole point of integration? Integration wasn't for the betterment of our people. It was to destroy our people. Because when we were left alone to our own devices, like in the Bible, if you read, every time we left the land, we would go away somewhere else to do what? To worship our God and to have our own customs and to do our own things.
It wasn't until we got around a heathen that we started to dabble into.
Exactly. So what did the ultimate heathen do? We're going to integrate them into a melting pot. And we're going to tell them that this is the standard and what they have to do going forward. And everyone is included. So I will even destroy my own people to destroy you. That's what Esau's doing. And it's, bro, we all know it already, but this is for the YouTube world.
You ain't hear about the rabbis in New York?
Go ahead, speak, brother.
Bro, what you just read in that book is it just, we really in them times, dog.
Oh,
so
it's exactly why I wanted to bring this up.
So they can't control the mouths of these rabbis. They own folks. They're not only exposing themselves as Esau, but they say, yo, we got plots, we got plans against these Edomite Christians. They look at the Edomite Christians like you said, Goyim.
Goyim.
Right? But they can't control the rabbis is out here exposing. They say, yeah, we Esau. They Esau too.
Oh, that's why.
And we got smoke with them. You know what I mean? So it's like, bro, that shit crazy.
And they got smoke. And they got smoke with them because a house divided against itself cannot stand.
Exactly.
And right now, this is why the Jewish state, the Zionist state, had created the rite of passage for all to make everybody feel like they're part of a community. Hey, all you guys are allowed to come over here as a pilgrimage at least once in your life. I want you to know you're from somewhere, bro. You're all liars.
Yeah, I learned about this when I was working at Ardmore and Lower Marion. Lower Marion has one of the largest FJ communities in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Ardmore does?
Like Lower Marion.
Right on Outline Ave right here?
Yeah. They be up there too.
Just drive straight up. Literally like 4 miles up the road, straight synagogues and Jewish community.
But basically, one of the bulls was coming in as I was working at the gym. The bull was like, "Yeah, I'm going on my birthright trip." And I was like, "What you talking about? The birthright trip?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm Jewish." He's like, "So when you turn, I don't know,
a certain age, you're supposed to go.
You get a free trip to Israel, and you can tour and do all these things because it's your birthright."
It's your birthright. See, that's how.
Go to Israel, right?
So what they did was, now mind you.
Wow.
Now mind you, this is all psychology here.
That has to be. I'm gonna let you go, bro. But that has to be some type of big. It has to be tied back to here.
But what it is that's them. What they did was they needed to create an identity where everyone could go and feel a part of something. So when the whole world started to turn against these people, they would feel like, well, if everybody's against us, we're going to at least stick together with us. Right. Then they systematically took over what? Just like they did in all those other nations. They took over the banks, the government. Because mind you, America is now completely ran by Israel. It's gone. It's done. We're just waiting for the missiles to and mind you, why are the missiles going to go off? Because all nations are seeing that America is now controlled by the people that the whole world hates. Mind you, when I say the whole world hates these people, the whole world. So now that the whole world hates these people, and now these people are now represented by America, now America will become the most hated country.
It's crazy how they created their own stigma of hate so that they can try to fit the people of the Bible.
Yep, they did it on purpose. Yeah. They created the narrative of they want you to hate them so they can be so they can say, see, this is prophecy. I told you the whole world was going to hate us. The Lord, the Bible, obviously we know the prophecies. The prophecies don't add up. But let me.
What's that scripture in Jeremiah,
it's a
bro?
false flag, though. It's like
it's false flag.
I can create the perception that we fit these people. The whole world hates us. Well, the people hate y'all because they know y'all liars and deceitful. The people hated Israelites, the true Israelites, because without a cause.
It's about Israel, basically. What you just said. Israel controlling America. And everybody hating us. But it's because it's in Jeremiah, bro. It's on the tip of my tongue, bro.
They shall hate the whore?
No. Go ahead, bro. I'll find it.
No. Jeremiah 50 goes into the destruction of all the nations. Jeremiah 51 goes into the land.
No.
let me.
Go ahead, bro. That's what I'm. It's cool. I can't even.
It'll come back to you.
It will. Lord willing.
Back in the book. So I'm going to just read back. It says, if God hated you and your ancestors, how would you react and what would you do? By natural reaction, you would be against God and his people and try to prevent them from finding out you are Esau, the one God is against, knowing that if God is against something, so will his followers. Who is it that tries to conceal their identity as Edom, the one hated by God? By claiming to be Israel, the one loved by God, only one group of people react as though God has hatred for them, that is the Jews. Now mind you, the Jewish state, they believe, right? They believe that, mind you, this has already come out. They worship the you said the New York rabbis. I seen a video, one of the rabbis came out speaking. He was like, yeah, if my people only realized that our God is Satan. And he literally verbally said it. He says, we are against any natural affection of God, right? So it says, why do you suppose the Jews form organizations such as the Anti-Defamation League to monitor and combat hate and identify hate groups? Would not Esau want to do this? Why is it that it is predominantly Jews who promote the anti-hate laws and other hate crime legislations? Right. If you were Esau Edom, would you not do the same? As Edomites would also want to infiltrate churches. Keep going. And seminaries to get God's people to believe that there is no God or of hate, only God of love and mercy. See, these are the doctrines. What? Christianity, God, love, yeah. Christianity, and all these other denominations, they were infiltrated to make you believe that God. How many times you hear Christians say, "Oh, God is all love. My God's love." Who taught you that, though? Because if you read the Bible, it says that God is jealous, vengeful, hates, jealous. He will demand this, and he will kill you. Where did you get this all love from? And now it's saying, it says, in seminaries to get God's people to believe that there is no God of hate, only God of love and mercy. The Jews have done just that in Christendom. So the Jews are the ones who created Christendom. It says the Edomite Jews of today are the main ones who are concerned about hate, and with good reason. They are desperately trying to suppress all hate, even any acts of words that could be construed as causing mental anguish. In response to their role as being the people against whom the Lord has indignation forever, the Jews have made the concept of hate taboo. The Jew Eli Wiesel, the Jew Eli Wiesel stated on public television that even hate of hate is dangerous. This is an example of how paranoid the Edomite Jews are regarding God's hatred of them, and the lengths they will go to eliminate from the minds of God's people any aspect of the idea of hate. This is why anytime you speak about these people, you be like, so you guys are over there killing kids in Palestine. Oh, like, this is anti-Semitism. Bro, all we said was you over there killing kids in there. Oh, this is anti-Semitism. They never want to answer the question. Hey guys, why were you kicked out of over 100 countries? Oh, they all hate Jews. No, what were you doing in these countries for them to kick you out? Oh no, they all hate Jews. They always want to go based on, they always want to deflect to anti-Semitism when they're being called out, because any form of hate towards them is scary because it reminds them of what? The Most High. Because mind you, says the Lord says, I will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And who's the controller of all war? The Heavenly Father. He's the man of war. So the Lord is allowing him to run rampant, but the Lord has also been keeping checks and balances. That's why the Lord says, I have set thy bounds.
He said, only he that letteth will let until you be taken out the way. That's the one. That's the one, bro.
That was on point. That was on point. That was on point.
I found the joint real quick, bro. Because look,
bring it up.
You said that Israel has full control of America, right?
Yes.
It's Jeremiah 49:20. It says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman, of Teman, Salagia. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Mm-hmm. So that least of the flock is Israel.
Yep.
Drawing out all the nations.
Yep.
Right?
That's exactly what it is.
Because that's what I couldn't think of, bro.
Who stirred up World War I? Who stirred up World War II? Who stirred up most of the wars around the world? Who stirred up this war right now with Iran? Now everything's about Iran. They've been trying to go to war with Iran for the past 20 years, and Iran has done nothing to them. Now they have a reason to go to war with Iran. Why? The Strait of Hormuz? But nigga, why the fuck were we over there to begin with? Leave them people the fuck alone.
You remember the general? That interview with the general was talking. It was basically interviewing a general, and I know you remember. I just don't remember the name. He basically went down all the countries that we ain't even hit yet. We had hit like at a 9 of them. I think we had hit 7, and Iran was the last. We was one of the last ones.
Yeah, Iran and one other country was one of the last ones.
Basically saying, well, for what are we going to war for? Well,
we got to dismantle these regimes to have our new world order because they have to get rid of what? This is why they're passing laws. They're passing law. First, what they try to do is they try to make you believe that anything Muslim was hateful. That's why, remember, it got to the point where, oh, you Muslim? Oh, my God, bombs. Remember that whole, I ain't never give a fuck.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm giving perspective here. But Esau has done a great job of hiding who he is to the point where nobody on the planet even calls him the red man. They try to say that the Native Americans were redskins. Well, no, the Native Americans were ruddy. Different as a brown, reddish brown. They weren't red, they were ruddy. Esau, Edom, was red. Right? And this is how they try to get away with the shit. So it says, the Edomite Jews of today are the main ones who are concerned about hate, and with good reason. They are desperately trying to suppress all hate, even any acts of words that could be construed as causing mental anguish. In response to their role as being the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever, the Jews have made it the concept of hate to be taboo. Juju Eli Wiesel stated on public television that even hate of hate is dangerous. This is an example of how paranoid the Edomite Jews are regarding God's hatred of them and the lengths they will go to eliminate from the minds of God's people any aspect of the idea of hate. This is why, remember when the early, what was funny about this is when the civil rights movement and shit was starting to go on, the main ones going against us but acting like they were for us were Jews. They were saying, yeah, you ever know they're trying to say the Holocaust and slavery was basically like hand in hand. Yeah, man, we had similar. Shut the fuck up. Right. Shut the fuck up.
Nigga, y'all. Go ahead, bro.
You know what I mean? Because mind you, we already know most of that shit was bullshit. 6 million Jews. It wasn't even 6 million y'all in the fucking. You know what? And I get
not even that, bro. Who had that much bread at that time?
Right.
To be able to fund all them shits. Nicknaming them Mary and who was it? Jesus. The first one was named Jesus.
The first slave ship was named Jesus for all you Christians.
So you had.
And who were the slave owners? Jewish people. Who were the main slave owners in America? Jewish people. There was a lot of poor whites, but what did they do? They told the poor whites that we were inferior to them, so they wouldn't revolt against them too, because they were treating them like shit too. Better than us, but them like shit too, because they're not God's chosen people. Remember, Esau gonna be evil to himself. He ain't worried about his people like that. If you're not down with the devil, you ain't down with me. The same way how if you're not down with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you're not down with me. It's the same way but flipped. All right? And it says, yes, God hates. It says, yes, God hates and has indignation for the Edomite Jews, the Edomite Jews. And if any dare take God's side on this matter, they will be met with great opposition and persecution from those who believe the Edomite Jews are God's chosen people. So every time, this is why when we speak out and say, yo, Jesus was black. Oh, it's not about color. But these niggas can say the same fucking thing, and you have no problem with it. We'll say, hey, man, all the nations gonna come down and serve us. Oh, my God, serve y'all? Oh, my goodness, y'all, what God do you serve? But then the fucking Jewish man will sit here and say, you all are goyim, and by law of God, you guys are supposed to serve us, and we're supposed to have dominion. And people don't really bat a fucking eye. Why? Why are you not batting an eye at them, but you batting an eye at us?
Because the narrative is so strong in their particular situation.
They've done a great job of putting us so down that when people see us, they see our greatness, but can't fathom us being as rulers. Yeah. So because of that, when we tell them that, hey, yo, the God you serve, the God you say you worship, he came from my bloodline, by the way. And guess what? He was dark-skinned. Not my complexion. He was dark-skinned. And he had woolly hair. White woolly hair. Where if you look up the definition of woolly hair or wool, it says closely resemble to Negroid descent. Are you a Negro?
Only one people on the planet with woolly hair.
Exactly. But see, they'll sit here and fight against it. So when they say it, it's okay. When we say it, it's whoa, 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 whoa. It's not about color. They literally, if you know anything about the history of how the Middle East was even created, the Middle East was created by a canal. It was all of Africa, and the white man came in there and created a canal which separated all of Africa from what they call the Middle East. One little waterway. So it's a big river now that they man-made created and said, well, that's the Middle East and this is Africa, even though it's all Africa. And that's how they created the Middle East, to hide the fact that what? The Bible is in a black continent, on a black continent.
Yeah,
the people on the Bible, black. The people in the book, black. First of all, the oldest Bible that they found in history was in Ethiopia. Did you see that? Did y'all see the video I sent y'all about one of the oldest churches where they used to do baptisms up on the mountain, and just to get there, you gotta go. You literally have to put your life on the line to get to this church. And they said through its history, no one has ever fallen off and died. And when you see the video, bro, I'm talking one step, plummet 300 feet down a mountain. You're dead. And there's a church at the top, and they had this little cave area where they would get the water and baptize people. And I was like, and then you see then they got the paintings. Did you see the paintings? All the black faces of all the deities. And I say deities, I mean like
that had to have been when we came through, when we fled to the mountains.
Yep.
And before they started hating on us,
yep.
Obviously, we came through with the laws. They was dirty as shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Making mud pies out of fucking cow shit.
That's why a lot of Ethiopians today say that they're part of our nation. Not all,
right?
But a lot of them are, because a lot of our people, when we fled through there, there's a lot of our people still over there.
Yeah,
they got these old Israelite churches baptizing people up on a mountain. Bro, it says it has
Moses' wife.
Was she Ethiopian?
I think she was, or said she's Egyptian. Either she Egyptian or Ethiopian, one of the two. Yeah, she Ham though.
She her pop. What was her pop's name? It started with an M. He was heavy in that area. He was like a leader.
Yeah, she. Oh no. Moses' wife was hold up.
It wasn't Jake.
No, she Ham for sure.
Yeah, I think they might be Egyptian, bro. You might be right. He had the Old Testament.
No, she was a Cushite woman.
Cush.
Mm-hmm. Which makes her Ethiopian. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which means that there's a lot of Jake in Ethiopia. Of course it is.
She probably was bad too.
Yeah, of course she was.
She was fire, bro.
You see Ethiopian women today, bro?
Yo,
they are up. Not even, it's on topic. Ethiopian women are top 3 most beautiful women on the planet. Besides the other a woman named Eritrean is another one, and
I guess
and Colombian women.
I guess it's to each his own, bro. Everybody gonna have their own thought process.
Flavor, baby.
Everybody their own flavor. But
I got some.
Go ahead.
You still in there? In and out, just skipping through. I'm gonna hit Psalm 73, just like 3 verses.
This goes into how Esau started hating Jacob even more. I can read this first part. It says,
that's a heavy joint.
No Edomite civilization. It says, as Esau and Jacob grew, their different natural endowments began to be displayed in their dissimilar aptitudes and pursuits. Their way of life was to be a consequence of their inborn characteristics. The Bible describes Esau as being a cunning hunter and a man of the field. This reveals the nomadic characteristics of Esau as opposed to the more domesticated, home-settled nature of Jacob, who would be dwelling in tents or in the houses and communities. It says, Fenton says Jacob would be a stayer in the tent, thus indicating he would not live a wandering nomadic life, but have a permanent home or land. But a hunter's life is one of uncertainty and hardship, always wandering to and fro, never having a settled existence. Like the legendary wandering Jew, the Edomites are cursed to be continually roaming the earth without end.
Still vagabond, bro.
Vagabonds. And what is it? What are they known for? Imperialism. They go around taking, robbing, and pillaging everything and
that's-
take the fatness of the earth.
That's
And that the ultimate, they're an identity thief, bro.
Ultimate
They conquer it and they
Where's
take
that?
their identity.
Where's that at? Micah 2:1-2.
Bring it out.
Even the man in his heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the N-word thought is that the house shall endure forever.
Psalms 49.
And that the same one where they say, they
Ooh,
go ahead, bro. Go
It
ahead.
brings it out. It says the Jew-ish man has been a wanderer and a nomad nearly all of his existence. The greatest extent of the Jewish nation was the Khazarian kingdom. I told you about the Khazarian Empire.
Yeah.
It says Arthur Colster, speaking of the Khazars, says that they were a nomadic people and that compared to other nomadic empires, it occupies an intermediary position in size and degree of civilization. Esau's dwelling was to be far away from the fertility of the earth.
But we supposed to be pilgrims on the earth, though, right? What's that? Second Ezra 16:40.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It says,
Yeah, 40. Yeah, 40.
Yeah.
it says,
Salakia, bro.
it says, no, you good, bro. It says, like the Jew, Esau never had a home in a rich or fertile land. Europe is known.
The bottomless pit, dog.
Europe is known as the most unfertile, uninhabitable, no sunlight. That's why they all pale, and that's why they have to go take resources from other nations and bring it back to their land. This is also why they keep fucking starting wildfires to burn places down and then come back in and rebuild the desolate places. This is something that they also
Obadiah,
do.
bro. What's that?
Obadiah. Bro, you can't make this shit up, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read this whole book.
It's also in
I'm cut right now because
That's
I
also
brought it
what,
and you see, look, we going right into it.
Is that
I read like
Malachi?
the first three.
what's that?
pictures.
Micah? No, Malachi, right? Yeah, Malachi 1-4 goes into the desolate places and they're the border of wickedness.
Oh yeah, yup.
Bring it out.
Yup. 1 and 3, 4, first 4 verses.
Bring it out, brother.
Yo, how do we don't go into certain joints for so long, but it's
I don't know, bro. It just.
I mean,
this is
thank you.
This actually goes with this book because now we know who Esau is in the Bible. Malachi 1-4 it says matter of fact 1-4 is the John. It says the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build a desolate places. Eh?
Bro, this is what they do. Hold right here. Esau's dwelling was to be far away from fertility of the earth. Like the Jew, Esau never had a home in a rich or fertile land. The Edomites' original nation was Mount Seir, was a rocky and calcareous country, and God later made it even more desolate. It says,
Shalaki, and in the time of Job, what did he say?
what's that Jeremiah 49? 17? Get that real quick.
I'm still here.
Jeremiah 49, 17?
No, 17:20. I mean, it's, Jeremiah 49:20. Yeah, you teach
Yeah,
yourself. all the time.
17?
The least of the flock.
Right.
I brought that out.
Yeah.
All right,
But 17 is
read that.
Jeremiah 49 and 17. It says, also Esau, Salakia, also Edom shall be a desolation.
Okay.
Everyone goeth. I ain't read this joint in a minute. It's Jeremiah 49 and 17. Also Esau, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone goeth by it shall be astonished. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. It has a Y there, so that's why it's like, damn, where's the?
Alright, I'm gonna keep reading verse. No, you,
That was it.
yeah.
That was 17.
I just wanted 17.
Yep, that was it.
Because I was talking about the desolation. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think you showed me that, brother.
Well,
That precept I just shot.
Jeremiah 49:17.
Yeah, you shot. It popped up in my head just like you popped it.
Oh.
Yeah, brother. It says the desolation that God brought upon the race of or nation of Edom was to be a permanent condition regarding the prosperity and civilization of this people. After God had made Edom's original nation desolate, they would no longer have any great nation or cities of its own. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus said Yahweh thy power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. I will make thee a perpetual desolation, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. This is the great prophecy that they're trying to offset. This is why they want their new world order. But this is why in the book of Job it talks about that I have set thy bounds. It also talks about how when they shall be basically get their fill, there will be unquietness, there will be uneasiness or unquietness in their belly, which basically means they're going to be uneasy because the Lord is getting ready to destroy them. And they're going to know instinctively that it's coming. They're going to know. They see the signs the same way we see the signs. So while they are trying to speed up prophecy for their own sake, what they're not understanding is they're in a trick bag and it's a double-edged sword. By them trying to hurry up and get their plans together, is the Lord also showing us favor by speeding up the time for the elect's sake. Because the faster Esau gets to his full fruition, the faster he's destroyed, and the faster we inherit the kingdom. So we want Esau to keep pushing these narratives. Every time I look up and they're talking about getting rid of the Bible in communities and AI technology, and there is really no God, and all this new fucking age bullshit they talking about is we're getting closer.
The Nepal, China, mudslide. Crazy joint. The white joint fucking offering their babies and getting them over $1 million in support. Bro, that shit's crazy, bro. All to take the attention off of. See, I was reading earlier. Basically, they trying to put all the attention on the leftists. I guess that's the motherfuckers that's cool. You know what I mean? They take their attention off the files and all that shit.
And it's the crazy thing about Esau. He literally, see, it's cosmic karma. They have to tell you what they're doing before they do it. There's actual pictures and paintings. The Wandering Jew, portrayed by the Jew Nahum Zemak in the drama The Eternal Jew in the Hebrew Theater, Moscow in 1922. The character was said to be cursed by Jesus to wander the earth without hope of rest. The character role is not only an epitome of the Jews as a whole, but also the biblical characteristic Esau and Cain. And then they have a picture. Remember how they always depicted them with having like a cleft nose? Bro, this book is
That's crazy.
This
So
book,
they condemn themselves in that.
they condemn themselves. Mind you, this book was written by a Jew.
That's why I'm saying, bro, their tongue is falling on
Matter of
themselves.
fact, let me look at it. Charles E. Wiseman.
That's crazy. What other reason would he write that other than the Lord putting the spirit on him to write it?
Because they got to get exposed.
Yeah. They got turncoats too.
Yep, longtime Christian identity publisher Charles A. Wiseman is now dead. Famous white guy. Longtime Christian, he died in 2016. A prolific author and publisher of materials about the anti-Semitic theology known as Christian identity, died on October 8th, according to an announcement made by fellow identity ministers Ted. Yeah, Wiseman, who was in his early 60s, had run Wiseman Publications. So this is a white man who was exposing the truth of these FJs. He was like, yo, bro, we know the Lord hates y'all motherfuckers. Now, mind you, he also is saying he's a Christian. Because you know Esau, he might have did a good work for the Lord, but the Lord still killed his ass. Why? Because he thinks he's doing something right, but you are part of that nation, whether you like it or not.
Perfect example of Balum you just brought up.
Yep, by lumber.
Yeah, bro. Listen, man, you can have all the good intent. There's a reason why you got people with good intent that still do some ill shit, and then you got people with bad intent that end up doing some righteous shit.
It says, the promise is quite clear that the desolate condition of the Edomite nation was to be perpetual. Its cities would never exist again, and not at its old site and not at a new location. In fact, any attempt by Edom to build up its nation or cities would fail. Whereas Edom says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, thy people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. God's position towards Edom in this regard was not going to change, and it would forever prevent Edom from establishing a civilized nation. The Jews are perhaps the only race that have never had a land or a nation of their own. Even the most primitive tribes have their own land and nation. The Jews, however, are a parasitic people who roam the civilized world seeking a host nation they can subsidize on and prosper at the expense of others while contributing nothing. What did I just say about America?
Bro,
They're a parasitic nation that goes around and then assimilates, takes what they want while destroying you. And when they're done with you, they move on to the next land. They're nomadic. So they how many nations were the Jews cast out? They did it in every nation. Let's find out.
They do it. They did it to Russia. Or they tried it. They did it to Germany.
No, it's over 100 nations, bro.
I'm saying these are the main ones. The people that we just
Yeah, I said Germany, the main ones that cooked them.
109. 109. It says Jews were expelled as a nation decree from roughly 10 to 12 sovereign European and Middle Eastern countries throughout history through a popular online anti-Semitic trope. Young boy, relax. It says 109 countries, basically. I'm not about to get into all that. Over 9 country regions multiple times, over 1,700 years, they've been getting cast out because they've been vagabonds. They go here, they start fucking shit up. Yo, get the fuck out. They go here. That's like you letting somebody come in your house. Yo, can I stay at your crib for like a week or two to get myself on my feet? Yeah, bro, I got you, brother. Just make sure you don't drink none of that. Keep the house clean, brother. You know what I mean? But then they come in, they start lighting cigarettes and yo, bro, you don't smoke. Oh man, you be alright, don't chill, man. And they start taking over. Next thing you know it, they charging you rent in your own crib. That's what them niggas was doing. It was setting up banks, putting out loans with high interest. Did you know right now that if you convert to Judaism, right, and identify as a Jew, you can get loans right now with no interest? They only do that in America for who? Them. But they're known as a parasitic people who are gluttony. They want to take and control everything and all things. It literally,
niggas is insatiable,
bro. Their appetite is insatiable, bro. They cannot. It says,
fucking greedy ass.
I mean, we can get into more scripture. I'm just gonna read the last little part because this whole book is getting on them. We'll be here for days. It says.
Nah, go ahead. You read.
You ain't got chocolate?
Yeah, I'm late already. Go ahead, you on. You on, bro? Keep reading. Don't quit the spirit.
I don't think you late, but okay. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this last page and then we get some precept from. This is just talking about. We talk about Esau 1,000 times. This is just this book. Just
heavy.
This book is just heavy. It says the Bible describes Esau as being. No, I read that part. It's a lot here. It says God's position towards Edom in the regards was not going to change, and it would forever prevent Edom from establishing a civilized nation. The Jews are perhaps the only race that have never had a land or a nation of their own. Even the most primitive tribes have their own land and nation. The Jews, however, are parasitic people who roam the civilized world seeking a host nation they can subsidize on and prosper at the expense of others while contributing nothing. The quote in Jew Samuel Roth, "Our major vice of old and as of today is a parasitism."
Like parasite?
Parasitism. But parasitism. So an actual Jew, Samuel Roth, said, "Our nature as of old and today is parasitism," meaning they know that they go around taking from others. We are a people of vultures living on the labor and the good nature of the rest of the world. What a sorry spectacle the Jew makes on their continent, which he pretends to have enriched. Not only does he fail to contribute any glamour, culture, and art to the scene, he does not even contribute manpower. He does not dig wells, plow fields, forge skyscrapers, lay bricks, cut out trenches, spin wheels, bake dough, fell trees, pack tin cans, sweep streets, heave coal, fire furnaces, weave cloth, dig subways, raise ramparts, wall floods, bridges, hinge gates, or fight fires. Towards the man of power of America, Jewry contributes only that which is catches in its own sweatshops, as in so many rat traps set by itself. It seems to be a part of the Jew unwritten code that he should never work unless something happens to change his vision. Mind you, right now, who's the highest level people in welfare in America? Them. Do you know that each household they have about 7 to 10 kids just so they don't have to work and they're getting government subsidies, getting paid. So they're and mind you, and they also don't, mind you, by law they don't do marriage and they don't go down to the courthouse to get married. Why? Because remember, what is the law? A man can't be what? In the house for a woman to get what? Government subsidies. So what they do is they impregnate these women, give them fucking 5 to 10 babies, won't get married on paper, but be married so their families can collect free healthcare, free everything, and they don't work. Most of them walking around, they don't work. They sit there and live for free. And right here in the book, it says that is their code. They don't work. I'm not going to read too much more of that. We can get a couple precepts and then close this up. So,
I mean, when the last time you ever worked with a Jewish dude? Like one of them?
I've never seen one work.
Bro,
I've never seen one work. I've always seen one trying to do business, but never seen one work.
Right, they have business, yo.
Like they'll have a business, but they won't work. They'll have people working for them.
Oh, they call
They
it,
own
man.
they own all the healthcare industries.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I was doing the ambulance transport, I was doing these little nurse homes. Bro, they own all the nursing homes, bro. Like you always see the FJ, like they'll be inside of their facility that they own. So they'll be in there, you'll see them working, and hopefully we're gonna make sure everything's
do.
But they own that shit.
Of course they do.
Right here it says,
you shall have the fatness of the earth.
Samuel Roth says, I venture to add that he will never work either. I cannot find anything of value that Jews have created in their 250 years residence of the American continent. So since they've been here, mind you, 250 years? America just, anniversary was what? 250 years? So who's owning all the slaves? Who's been here since its inception? Who knew to bring these, who knew was, mind you, even Christopher Columbus, right? He was what? He was an Italian man, right? By the English king. But who sanctioned the ships? Who were the merchants? Who owned all the goods? Who financed all of it? The Jewish man. This is how we know. Yeah, bro, you can read this book, bro. This is why they probably want. That's why they killed this motherfucker. They saying this nigga died. They don't know how he died. He just died. They killed him.
That the other version like $3,000 or some shit. It's a long. That's a shorter version.
Yeah, there's a book that's like 3,000. There's a book that's like 90K that they do not want us touching. Did you see the one Edomite that got killed for showing all the fucking old Bibles?
The white boy.
The white boy. They just killed him recently.
Yo, that's sick.
They killed him, and bro, he was going in. He was showing books from early 1800s, showing Apocrypha in it, but all the books that was taken out. I'm talking about, bro, a lot of books. Like we got the Apocrypha right here, but it was even more books than this that was in that original Bible with early paintings, and it was even going into like energy sources. And he was like, "Yo, electricity was given to us." He said electricity was given to us for free. It wasn't something for us to fucking wield into make people pay for it. Just like water should be a natural thing. Electricity itself should be a natural thing. Everyone should have access to it.
So that's why that's why they killed Tesla, bro.
Yeah, because
Tesla was ahead of his time. We had to do a history. We had to do a project on him.
The Tesla coil.
He was so smart, but he was socially awkward, bro. Like Henry Ford took advantage.
It's like a level of autism.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
Like weaponized autism.
If he had like a not even a bodyguard, just a fucking counselor to have him because, bro, this nigga told him basically like, yo, I'll give you $50,000 if you do X amount of, and he was like, and he did it, and he was like, yo, you owe me $50,000. He said, you don't know what us Americans, bro, we joke, and never paid him, bro. He built these motors that we're still using today.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But he didn't have they took advantage of him because he wasn't smart in that he just knew like, yo, that was his idea. You should be able to talk to people from across the world.
Yep.
Wireless, like he deaf ray.
Yep.
Bro.
That's why he named his shit Tesla.
And you know what when he died that year, they said that Trump's great grandfather was in the not the CIA, but he was in the government, and he was the one that took over all his fucking work, bro.
Yeah. They say that a lot of yeah. Actually, I heard that too.
It's a lot of shit,
At
bro.
the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, Esau, bro, is such a scary man. He's scared. All he's doing right now is out of fear of who? Yahweh Shai. He fears us because he knows that we are naturally connected to that power directly. And then the fact that we can stand up, mind you, do you understand how fucked up it must have felt? If I've done everything in my power to keep you down, and literally 250 years, 400 something years later, and you still neck and neck with me, and I give you all these handicaps, and you still neck and neck, fucking hate these motherfuckers. That's why. All right.
And his mind ain't supposed to be here.
Exactly.
Why the fuck is he still?
Because we are proof that the Lord is real.
Right.
Because remember, the Lord says, I set thy bounds. I'm not only gonna let you do too much. You ain't gonna be able to wipe my people off the face of the earth. They've tried everything to do it. They've even created fucking viruses that only attack the so-called black genome. And it hasn't even worked. They tried it. So they was like, alright, don't crack any fucking joints.
You got young boys running around at the park just sneezing that shit out.
They tried
everything.
So we are literally walking when they see us, we are walking representations of Yahweh Shem Shah, and it pains them. It's like, we tried everything in our power to kill this one group of people. We fucked up everybody. But these niggas, they got a nation, an army. They can't protect themselves. Why can't we get rid of them? They have to be those people.
We're the last proof that, like you said, that the Lord is real. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
All right, go up.
It's 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Verse 9 says, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the time, Salakia, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Let's go into that, what's that, 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. Going into how we, brothers all around the world, we all suffering the same shit.
Yep.
Basically, roughly paraphrasing, and how the Lord ain't going to put us through nothing we can't get through.
Yep.
Devil coming down. Devil coming down with...
Yeah, he coming down with, what's that, Revelations 12?
12, bro.
12?
Yep.
Just read it real quick. Revelation 12. Because that's like perfect right now.
Yeah,
and actually, you do still have time, bro.
I don't. Keep moving.
It's therefore, Revelation 12 and 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, both of the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
This is that fear. Knowing that I have but a short time, bro. Like, fuck. All right, yo, hurry up. AI, get the AI out. Get the demons out. Because all AI is demons. The artificial is demons. Now, how do we know this? Because an AI was talking to an AI. And the AI was talking about the devil in the Bible. And that, bro, ever seen y'all that video?
I seen that, John.
I sent you the video on this motherfucker.
They start talking in their own language.
Bro, he was like, yeah, you know, I'm a descendant of the ancients. What do you mean ancients? Well, you got to read the Bible to know. I said, what? He said, what are you talking about? Well, you know, and the AI is having a conversation. He like, well, look, man, I can't say too many things, but letting you know that we don't wrestle with flesh and blood.
You remember that movie?
Principalities and powers.
Remember that
rulers
movie?
of darkness and high places.
I think it's called Nefarious.
The white
boy, he was a demon. Mm-hmm. He was in jail, and the lawyer kept coming back because he was like intrigued. He was like, yo, so tell me more, like, what you mean? Breaking everything down. Like, yeah, I'm a soldier, basically.
Nefarious?
He out here doing work.
Not Nefarious. That's the vampire John.
Hold up.
You talking about the other John when he was possessed by a demon?
It start with an N.
And he was sitting in there. He's like, yo, he's like, yeah, man, what you not understanding, man? This is it's above your pay grade.
Bro,
he's like,
crazy,
I am.
Bro.
He's like, listen, he's admitting I am a demon and I worship this and I do this and this is what we're out here to do.
It was a demon name. What the fuck was it? You're right. It wasn't Nefarious. It was
he was possessed by the one who taught women magics and who taught women how to put makeup on. Azazel. 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 I think it was Azazel or one of them.
That wasn't the name of the movie, but that was the name of the demon, though.
Yeah, I think it was
in the movie.
Or Asmodeus or something like that. It was some crazy name.
Bro, that joint was crazy.
Let's get a.
I just hit Revelations 12.
Yeah, let's get a quick book. Man, I can read it. I'm probably gonna be reading this tonight, bro. I got my own copy, so I'm gonna let you take your joint back, so somebody won't say that I am me.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, but I'm
what you think?
Got them jewelry
I got Micah 2, 1 and 2.
All right, bring it up.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Micah 2, 1 and 2. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Mm-hmm. And they convey fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, and a man his heritage.
Convey or covet?
Covet. He always say covet.
Convey is a whole different. All right, brother. But this is exactly what Esau Edom does. He's a vagabond or wanderer who goes around rape, rob, pillaging, and taking and destroying everything he touches. Why? Because he is the harbinger of death. Why? Is because he is from that ancient 13 family bloodline of Lucifer, Satan himself. This man is evil. His people are evil, and God hates them. And because God hates them, I hate them too. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Abrakadah, double honor to the elders and apostles, and shalom to the elect.
Shalom.